Parliament in 2008 and accidentally become Senator recently. But how does all this thing happen? Because of one little word called interaction. Sometimes I don't understand what all these things. Until now, after I reflect, actually I've been running like a Forrest Gump, run, Forrest run, actually knowing nothing about what I'm going to get. And now after 20 years, something happened last night, May. For me, I don't understand what is social media, Khalid, to be frank. To be frank, I don't understand. Because why? At least in my area of struggle, we have to fight, to strive without media. At least. When I was in US, I was in DC, I was in Palo Alto. There's a few blogs from Facebook. I was at, Palo Alto. You have Eric Smith there. You have all the big boys there. You have PO Media. So many other big names there. But one thing I learned, the power of interaction. He says simply like this. Interaction. Bahasa Melayunya interaksi, bukan emosi. So, interaksi, interaction, not emotion. But if we go another level, collaboration, not collusion. I mean, Joe, you don't laugh. I said, don't do collusion. So what I see in this social media, what is the underlying idea behind this? For me, it must stand on certain normative idea. It cannot be just another processes or something situational. So the very question, what is that normative ideas behind it? For me, if social media is just another situational stuff, just another processes, I believe it won't last long. Where I come from, if reformasi is just another programs, after the programs, we close the door. If reformasi is just another events, habis event, done. But why it lasts until more than 20 years? That's why I believe the first time I know about Malaysian social media chambers in 2008, when I was accidentally become member of parliament, and someone was asking me how to get hold of this Minister of Information. And that time it was Sabrici. And I remember that was the day when you started the first, what was it, 2008? Way before that. And not only that, I came to know that you guys make a very bold stand. You rewarded Malaysia Kini at one time and become a big, I would say, a political controversy. Am I right? But give a big hand to Social Media Chamber. They stand strong until today. Congratulations. I believe in whatever you do, you must stand on certain normative ideas, which I don't know, Khalid. I'm not here trying to tell what is that. For Khalid to do this for many years, I don't know what is that, Khalid. Is it because of money? I don't think so. This area you can make a lot of money. There are many startups, one successful, one not successful. It must be something bigger than that. And this morning, I was in a conference called National Education. You have a former science advisor. You have, siapa lagi this morning? You have a founder of a private school. You have a director of planning of Ministry of Education. Suddenly I realized, education is about, it has no connection to democracy. Its education has no connection to, let's say, to justice. Education has no connection to, let's say, to rule of law. And just now, one guy said, Webby, can you speak something about rule of law? I said, why? I think now we need a legal perspective. One guy, one of the founders here, from my event, he said, Yusmadi, can you talk about something? Yes. Now, in Palo Alto, we are talking about post-truth society. And just now you said, Shahul asked you to talk about ethics. And Anna was talking about digital ethics. And now I'm at ISTAX as a young professor, is talking about the ethics. Because I think the problems of the previous regime is not very much about the hardware, but the software. So, and this morning someone was talking to me, Yusmadi, let's do the way the Davos. I said, no, I'm part of the un-Davos group. Thousands of people in these, my telegrams, the Global Shepherd, we don't want to go to Davos anymore.
Because if Davos is doing something right, we are not talking about inequality. PKT is not talking about inequality now, if Davos is doing something right. So I think Malaysia's social media chambers, Malaysia's social media weeks can be equally important, maybe better than Davos. That's my belief. Because I realize, at least this is the only place in the world where social interaction representing major civilization, the Muslim, the Chinese, the Indian, and the total effect of all this interaction is happening for the last 60 years in this country, and this idea must explain certain modernity in this part of the world, and I think Malaysian social media chambers or Malaysian social media weeks has provided that platform. You have provided a platform for the interaction, for the collaboration. Can you imagine, I would like to close, if that interaction and collaboration is about the core competence of the society, for the higher purpose of the society, which I don't know what, which it can be about economy, it can be about security. I think we're going to see something big going to happen, inshallah, for this country. With that, I would like to congratulate the organizer, and I think the awards tonight is about recognition of a good work of all of you, and I see the Panglima, I see this from the Air Force, and I see that I was told from Majlis Agama as well. This is the way to do it. It's about collaboration of the civil society, collaboration of the government, collaboration of the business sector, and more importantly also some sovereign individual. It can be ustaz, it can be priest, it can be pastor, it can be Topikong advisor. These are how we do what I call it, the muafakat, the idea of democracy in this part of the world. And it's happening now. Thank you again for inviting me, and thank you Izzat for being a fixer, and I hope to see you again.